Hey guys, I thought that it would be fitting to share this news update from Japan since I'm still in Japan, and this is relating to Japanese astronauts. It's a little bit outdated, but hopefully you'll bear with me and watch this video anyway. Last week we learned a Japanese astronaut will be the first non-American to set foot on the moon. President Joe Biden announced that a lucky Japanese astronaut will be the first to achieve this milestone on one of the upcoming NASA Artemis missions. And this offer to Japan came as part of Prime Minister Fumio Kishida's visit to the United States.
And the allocation of 2 astronaut flight opportunities to the lunar service to Japan were confirmed. Under the Artemis Program, I welcome the lunar landing by a Japanese astronaut as the first non-US astronaut.
NASA also signed an agreement for a lunar rover advancing the space cooperation between Japan and the United States.
Today, President Biden announced a historic agreement. Japan will develop, for NASA's use, a pressurized rover to rove with our astronauts on the lunar surface.
As we know, NASA's Artemis program seeks to return humans to the moon for the first time in over 50 years and to build a sustained lunar presence ahead of missions to Mars. And between 1969 and 1972, the U.S. Apollo program saw 12 Americans, all white men, walk on the moon. NASA previously announced that the Artemis program would see the first woman and the first person of color to land on the moon, and now we know a Japanese astronaut will be a part of that voyage to the moon. The first mission to take astronauts to the lunar surface, or Artemis 3, is planned for sometime in 2026, but I have a feeling that that date might slip. China, meanwhile, has said it seeks to put humans on the moon by 2030. The European Space Agency is also expected to get seats on future Artemis missions. This is also in exchange for technological contributions to the program. Now, the lunar rover provided by Japan will be pressurized, meaning astronauts can travel further and work for longer periods on the lunar surface. This pressurized rover will accommodate 2 astronauts in the mobile habitat and laboratory for up to 30 days as they explore the area near the lunar South Pole. NASA currently plans to use the rover on the future Artemis 7 mission, followed by subsequent missions over a 10-year lifespan for that rover. I was lucky enough to see the Artemis program kick off back in November of 2022 with Artemis 1.
By the sonic boom. Let's go, Artemis!
Oh my god, it's like blinding, you guys. This is wild.
It is brighter than a Falcon 9, I can tell you that. And look, it's heading straight to the moon!
This successfully flew an uncrewed vessel around the moon. Artemis 2 is planned for 2025 and will send 4 astronauts around the moon without the landing. The crew will consist of 3 Americans and a Canadian who are all currently in training. And the first crewed landing on the moon will be Artemis 3, like I said, currently scheduled for 2026, but as we know, these things can slip. NASA has not yet announced who will take part in that moon landing mission. Hey guys, so I just wanted to take a moment and say I can't believe that my channel has almost 100,000 subscribers. That's a lot of people watching Ellie in space, and with more people watching and more exposure, it means that more people are looking me up online, sometimes looking for personal information like where I live, what my number is, who I'm dating, and what my measurements are. And I'm happy to say I've been able to scrub a lot of that personal information thanks to Delete Me. Yeah, my previous address was out there, which definitely made me uncomfortable, and unfortunately you probably have a lot of private information out there as well. Just Google your name. I found out about Delete Me in February, and after signing up and getting back my first report, they informed me that 61 data brokers had my information, including my addresses, phone numbers, age, and personal information that I didn't want out there. Here's how it works. Delete Me submitted my removals from the data brokers on which they found my information. This privacy report shows each of the data brokers they've scanned, what they found, and what they're doing to remove my data. After they've submitted each opt-out, their privacy advisors go back and check each source again to make sure my information has actually been removed. For example, data brokers that Delete Me is able to opt out of online, like Spokio, process pretty quickly, but slower data brokers can take weeks to honor requests. And remember, even after removals are complete, Google can take additional time to remove results from its search cache. New data brokers will be added to Delete Me's list as they appear, and they will submit opt-out removals for my personal information to the new ones. And this is why my membership is so beneficial, and you can actually sign up for a family plan since so many of your relatives are linked to you as well. Plus, Delete Me will do another 3 reports this year on my information. I personally trust Delete Me, and I feel more secure now knowing that my information won't be subjected to threats of harassment, identity theft, or even stalking. You can get 20% off Delete Me US consumer plans when you go to joindeleteme.com/LE20 and use the promo code LE20 at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/LE20, code LE20. However, as you can see, or maybe you can't tell, I'm still in Japan. This is my view of Hiroshima from the 27th floor. And yes, last night we even experienced an earthquake in Japan. So there was a 6.3 magnitude earthquake off the coast. It was an intensity level of 3 here in the hotel, enough to definitely notice the ground swaying. So that was definitely woke me up. But as you can see, this is a really great view. I don't know if it comes across, but it's been a great trip so far in Japan. Sorry that the content hasn't been as consistent, but I am enjoying this once-in-a-lifetime experience. We are going to see Mount Fuji still, so that is next to do on our list, and then we'll be heading back to Tokyo. And we decided to extend the trip just a couple days because it is so cool here and we don't really want to leave. If you guys have been following my TikTok, maybe you've seen some of the reels that I've posted of just some of my favorite things that we've done so far, including feeding the deer in Nara. That was a day trip from Kyoto and 100% worth the day trip. It was surreal to be in this magical land with beautiful nature as well as deer roaming everywhere that you could feed these little deer crackers. And I think that my boyfriend and I probably bought like way too many crackers, but it was very fun feeding the deer. Today we were able to feed koi fish in one of the very pretty gardens here in Hiroshima. We did go to the Peace Museum as well as seeing the A-bomb dome, which is very indescribable being here. So far we've, really stayed in Tokyo, Kyoto, and Hiroshima, and they all have different feelings associated with them. But it's been really great to explore more of Japan and not just Tokyo, which, we're going to fly out of there. But it's been nice to see different parts of this magical country. Yeah, so part of the reason the trip has been so nice is that the people are so nice and welcoming to my boyfriend and I here. So I really do want to thank the people of Japan just for being so polite and kind. Everyone has treated us with extreme hospitality, and you don't get that everywhere you travel. So I'm going to miss just people being so nice and friendly and cheerful, and you definitely don't see that everywhere you go in the United States. So it's been really cool. One of the other things that we've really enjoyed is the exchange rate has definitely been in our favor. So I've done some shopping and I'm not done. I got these cool shoes, which are a Japanese brand. I'd never seen them before. So it's been really cool to see this part of the world and hopefully take some of that culture back with me home to Texas. If you guys enjoyed this video and all of my Starship coverage, please subscribe to Ellie in Space. It's completely free, and that way you won't miss any future videos. If you want to take it a step further, please consider signing up for my Patreon. YouTube revenue can be very unpredictable and hit or miss, and you guys on my Patreon are why I'm able to take these trips and help me experience the life that I'm very thankful to live down here at Starbase and many of the other places that I've gone to report for the channel and the places that I'll be going in the future.